What's up, everybody? Shane here, and I want to show you my Eraserhead deck that I used to go undefeated with at a store Provisional located in Las Vegas. This tournament was held at Darkside Games, fantastic venue, and for those of you who don't know, Las Vegas has a lot of veteran players. These guys have been playing since 2014, 2015. We have a handful of national champions from the past, and one of them was in attendance, so that was pretty scary. Yeah, so for those of you who were at Pasadena, California, you may have seen me play Eraserhead during the gunslinging games. And I just wanted to showcase like the cool combos you could do with the deck. I didn't have like specific core cards in there just because I wanted to showcase the deck. But this is the tournament version, so yeah, let's get right into it.
All right, so first up, Eraserhead, of course. The enhance, your attack gets a speed for each attack in your card pool, and if it's completely blocked, you get the draw card. So the goal of the deck, you want to play a long string of attacks, and usually by the third or fourth attack, all your attacks are unblockable, and that's how you win. The first and second attacks are usually just pokes. You just play them, see what happens. In this deck, I play 19 attacks, so a lot of times on turn 2, I'd have like 3 attacks in my hand, and like I wanted more foundations, so I would just toss an attack out there, and I'd give it a speed with his ability, and then if they completely block, then I drew a card. So like I could filter out cards in my hand, try to draw more foundations to build up to a better kill turn. Usually with his attacks, you just constantly progress the game state, because like if they completely block, you draw one. If they don't block, then they take the damage, and then if they partially block, they take half damage and you don't draw. So that's actually an effective tactic versus Eraserhead. You can partial block his attacks. He still gets momentum though, so like no matter what, when he's attacking, he's going to generate advantage somehow. The response is super important. So after your rival plays an attack, you commit him, you choose an ability on the attack, and then it loses that ability for the rest of the turn. This hits like any ability on the attack, even static abilities. So to give you a couple examples, it hits keyword abilities. So I took throw off of the zero gravity lift. Against the same Ochako player, I took off the static, where if this attack is added to your momentum, you add it face up. I was able to take that off as well. Against the Deku in Grand Finals, the only reason I was able to beat this Deku was because I turned off the draw on Back Alley Haymaker, so he couldn't like flip Celebrity Status, stack the momentum, then draw it with Haymaker to get another attack to kill me. So the thing about this Eraserhead is like it's a super skillful deck. Like you really need to know which ability to turn off with that response. So this is just a super powerful card. Just like the enhance and the response together is just great. So moving on to the attacks, I play 19 attacks in this deck. Let's go over the core attacks. So Binding Cloth Assault, the combo enhance here, you discard a card and draw 2 cards, so it filters through your deck to try to find more attacks so you can overwhelm your opponent with. There's ways to stack stuff too. I guess let's just be untraditional and show we got like Celebrity Status as well. So like usually with Eraser, you're playing attacks and they're hitting because they're either taking the damage because they don't want you to draw, or they partial block, you deal damage anyways. During your more consistent and stable kill turn, you use Celebrity Status to stack the momentum when you play this. Or well, you play this first and then you stack the momentum, then you pitch one and draw the momentum with Binding Cloth Precision. So that was a way I was able to recycle attacks. The other ability, if you played an action this turn, it gets +2 speed. We'll get to actions a little later. But let's the other core combo attack. By the way, everything in here is combo. The other core combo attack I play is Binding Cloth Whiplash. Combo enhance, it doesn't count towards progressive difficulty for the rest of the turn, so it just allows you to keep extending your attacks because it doesn't count towards progressive. So you can just keep playing more attacks, you still get the speed off of Eraserhead. So yeah, these are the 2 attacks. I play 4 of both of these. These are the ones I want to see the most. They both do amazing things. This allows me to extend my kill turn, makes my attacks faster, just kills them. And then Binding Cloth Assault basically exchanges like foundations for chances at more attacks, or guaranteed attacks with Celebrity Status. So yeah, these are the 2 main attacks I want to see pretty much at all stages of the game. There's another attack I play that's a 4x. Play Binding Cloth Capture. This card's amazing. I usually poke with this attack because the ability, the bottom enhance, seal 1 rival foundation, super important. You just lead with this. You choose like their best foundation and seal it as your first enhance, so like they don't have that foundation for the rest of the turn. So like a defensive foundation or something, you can just totally cut them off of it. And then again, I'll get to actions after this one, but if you played an action this turn, this card gets -2 difficulty. So like late in the chain, it's a 3 difficulty for like 5 damage, and it's like you get free speed with Eraserhead as well. So that's kind of nice. It's a cheaper attack to play. if you played an action. The combo enhance is actually like sneakily good. I didn't use it too much. By the way, it says if you played an action this turn, your rival discards a card. This is how I was able to win my top 4 match against Kirishima. I was able to play like 2 of these and pitch both cards in his hand. He didn't have any blocks then. So very good card. Let's go to the actions. I played 2 Sugar Rush Power Up and then 1 Flex Your Might. Let me just talk about. Well, Sugar Rush Power Up really needs no explanation. You just remove 10 cards out of your discard. You get +2 speed, +4 damage. And then since you played an action, this becomes 3 difficulty, and then you get 2 speed off of Blinding Cloth Assault. Flex Your Might. I think this is a cool card in Eraserhead. It has nice like catch-22-ish kind of things with Eraserhead. So like if they completely block, you get the draw card. Yeah, if they don't block, then they have to commit a foundation with the response on Flex Your Might. The first form was like, I wanted it just to, mainly when I play this is like, show me a block mod. And then if they don't want to show me a block mod, they don't show me an attack, and I show them an attack, I get the draw 2 anyways. But I never got to play this card in the tournament. Like I drew it turn 1, going second, I reviewed it, checked it, so I can't really say much about this card. I would honestly just put in a 3rd Sugar Rush Power Up over the Flex Your Might. But yeah, I can't really speak much to Flex Your Might because I never was able to play it. But also, like, you gotta play this first, and like Sugar Rush Power Up it's a 1 diff. You can play 2 attacks and then play this. It's a little easier to play. So yeah, those are just the 3 actions I play to make Binding Cloth Capture a little cheaper to play. But again, I just poke with this, Seal of Foundation. If they completely block, 5 speed, low for 5 damage, then I get to draw 1. So kind of nice. Moving on to some other attacks, play 3 Binding Cloth Dropkick. It's a nice finisher attack. Combo enhance, you discard a card, and then this gets 4 damage. So on top of other damage bonuses in the deck, this usually hit for a lot. Again, like, you'll draw wonky hands with this, right? Like, you obviously don't want to start with Whiplash or Assault. So a lot of times I just poked with this. It's like 5 high for 4. And then, you know, if they block it, cool, I get to draw a card. If they just take the damage, it's like, cool, all right, I can just play Foundations, I have a momentum for next turn, and then I can scoop it up with Celebrity Status and actually have a finishing kill on the next turn, which is kind of nice. So, cool card. I play 3 copies of Piercing Descent. Mainly play this because I wanted a low block in my attack lineup. If you see the attacks, it's all like mids, and then like these are highs and stuff. So, yeah, just covering my block zones with this card, but it's also amazing. Like, the combo enhance was nice. Usually hits for 8 if it hits, provided you don't have any other damage bonuses like Prone to Dry Eyes or whatever. But yeah, mainly for the low block, and then it has the stats I want to. If you notice, every attack in this deck is going to have combo and the weapon keyword as well. So it's either combo weapon or combo or combo attack, I think. So you can combo off of anything. You don't have to worry about, oh, do I play this first, whatever. You have freedom to play whatever you want and then combo with whatever you want. So yeah, Piercing Descent. Might as well talk a little bit more about this. When this is like the 4th attack in the card pool, and they basically can't block it because the speed's too high. You give it 2 damage, and then it hits them, they burn for 1. Just does a lot of damage, so good attack. Then I decided to play 1 Total Erasure Binding. This was just, like, the powerful 3 is what I really wanted from this card, just in case, like, I had too much momentum and I needed an outlet to dump it all. This was what I would use it for. But every time I drew this, I played it as an opening attack just to poke with, because I had, like, these attacks in my hand, and I wanted to, you know, make use of these combos more than this combo. But yeah, powerful 3 is mainly the reason why I played that. So that's all 19 attacks. 1, and then 3 of these, 3 kick, and then the 12 attacks. 4 of Whiplash, 4 Cloth Capture, and 4 Assault. So those are all the attacks. Moving on to Foundations, I already showed Celebrity Status. Late Riser. So this was a card, dude. Like, this is main reason why I like to play Eraser 2. This card was in set 1, Eraserhead set 1, and like not many people played it for the enhance, because like very few people played Eraser with the combo stuff. Some people did, but mainly you played like Reciproc Extend and Reciproc Burst. That was what I saw with Eraserhead. But now with Eraser 2, he loves this card because he's comboing every time. He gets free damage off of this, so it's just awesome. I'll come back to this card later. There's like a very cool trick I did against Deku in Grand Final. Well, I might as well just show it now. Prone to Dry Eyes is like one of the damage dealers I have in the deck. The enhance, you discard a card, and then your attacks get 1 damage for the rest of the turn. So you have plenty of cards in your hand when they're full blocking with the Eraser. You get to draw you generate an extra card with the Cloth Assault. So you just dump these extra cards for free damage, and then it'll stack up as well. You can like enhance once per attack, and then the damage just stacks. Then like this is one of the main reasons why I was able to win like quickly with my attacks. Is all my attacks are hitting for like 7 or 8, and they're not blocked. So that was really cool. What I wanted to mention with Late Riser, I was able to block something against the Deku because I used the enhance on my rival's turn. On his turn, I discarded this out of my hand, and then I got the mono speed off it, and I was able to block his attack. So that was really cool. I just wanted to throw that in there, that you can do that. It was a play that I saw, and I decided to do it, and then I was able to block. This is also good stun hate, too, with the response on it. 2 Chivalrous Competitor. Just flip it to draw a card. That's the main reason why I played it. A lot of times with Celebrity Status, if you do not have Assault to draw the cards, if you stack the momentum, you can't rely on them fully blocking the attack to let you draw a card. They're just going to take it, and you're going to have a 3-check on top of your deck. So I played Chivalrous Competitor so I could like flip, stack the momentum on top, then flip this, and we both draw. But like I don't care what they draw, what kind of block they draw. It's not really going to help them. So yeah, this is it's nice. It's funny because there's these cards share 2 symbols, all and Earth. So it's like a 2-card combo you can use, like flip 2 foundations and then take a momentum, add it to your hand, pretty much. So that's kind of cool. So, 4 destined for mainstream success. I play 19 attacks in this deck, and it's like a 57-card deck or something. I check 3s a lot, and I go on attack strings a lot. I play like 5 attacks in a turn. So using this, calling attack, and like either getting another attack or confirming my next check is a 5 or whatever, just really helps. So awesome card, super crucial for the deck. I played 4 Advice for Winners. This card looks a lot better than it actually is. Again, I played 19 attacks in the deck, so I check 3s quite a bit. So I would use this during like a kill turn or whatever. When I check a 3, I flip this. Hopefully I check a 5. A lot of times I would just check another attack though. So I don't know how I feel about this card. In Grand Finals against Deku, I checked a 3, I flipped this, and I checked another 3. And then there was a spectator watching. He's like, dude, that's like the 4th time I've seen you do that this tournament. I'm like, yeah, dude. Like, so yeah, I don't know how I feel about this card. You could play Binding Cloth Mastery instead if you really want to, but I like the 5-check. I don't know if I'd play. I don't know what I would replace it with, but it did work sometimes. So yeah, I don't mind the card. I think I'll continue playing it. One thing I want to note is that you cannot recheck a recheck. So like if you have 2 of these out, right, and you check a 3 and you flip this and you check another 3, you cannot use another one. So just keep that in mind. That a recheck's only once per check pretty much, because you can't recheck a recheck because a recheck's a subclass of a check, but that's just rule stuff. 4 copies of It Can't Be Fixed, just like Stable Foundation, 0 difficulty spam, anti-stun, +1 high block, nuts card. 2 copies of Floating Around My Babies, this in addition with the Prone to Dry Eyes. This is where a lot of my damage came from, and I think like either round 3 or top 4 against Kirishima. I don't remember, but I played like 2 Sugar Rush power-ups, and then I had a bunch of like cards in me for this. I had like 4 cards in my deck or something. And then they were like, wow, like like the deck was really running thin, but you have to do it to get the damage. So this is what I have for damage, and it worked out. 4 Exhausted Exclamation. Amazing defensive draw for this deck. I usually always like turn something off with Eraserhead, and then I'm able to draw cards. So it was obviously made for him, but works in a bunch of other characters as well. So yeah, just defensive draw helps me get more cards in my hand to block with. 4 Specialist of Sound. Just amazing speed hate card. This is also really good when you check it. Obviously, you reveal the top card of your deck. If it's an attack, you know it's an attack. So it's like, you know, there's Eraserhead stuff you can do there, but you're probably going to draw it with like Destined for Mainstream or something, or just Chivalrous Competitor as well. But mainly speed hate, -3 speed is a response, so it's good. And then final card is One Night Watch. Just cancels. If you're playing actions and you're on these symbols, you should probably run like one of these just because it cancels enhances. I was able to win against Toru round 3. Because I used Eraserhead to shut off the discard your hand, draw 3 on One for All Full Cowling, and then I canceled passing the torch. So he was empty-handed, and I was able to kill him next turn. So, but yeah, that is the deck. It's really hard to show a solitaire with Eraserhead because a lot of it is reactive to what the opponent does. So like the enhance is like, do they want to block? Do they want a full block? Are they just eating the damage? Like, a lot of it is mind games too when you're playing with your opponent as well. Like, for example, there were times where I'd have like, you know, my hand would be something like, I don't know, let's just pull out some foundations. Like, it would look something like this, right? This would be my hand. So I would just poke with this, yeah? And I'd give it a speed. And I'm just like, dude, I just want to cycle cards out of my hand. I would just talk to him, right? It's like the mind game stuff. So I'll give it a speed. If you block it, completely block, I draw a card. So then it's like, it puts in their mind, like, well, okay, if I completely block it, he just wants to filter in his hand. So like, you know, if they do completely block it, sure, but sometimes they would just take the 5. I'm like, okay, I'm just going to build my foundations, and then I'm just going to pass my turn, and I have momentum for next turn. I can celebrity status or whatever back. And then, even if I have low cards in my hand, I have Exhausted Exclamation, where I can just draw cards, because I'm going to shut off an attack and then start drawing cards for defense. So yeah, a lot of it is dependent on what your rival does. To give you an example of like an average kill turn, I'd probably have like I poke with this seal, it's 5 low for 5. Well, so like turn 2, for example, right? I'll poke with this, I'll seal something, 5 low for 5, they'll just take it or whatever, because it's like 5 speed or whatever. So of momentum. I'll probably have like 2 late risers in my stage, a prone to dry eyes, and then my hand will look something like, I don't know. I'll have a celebrity status on the board. It'll look something like this. And I'll have like a random foundation in my hand. So like I would, with this hand here, if I have the momentum, right, celebrity status, it really depends what I want to do. I'd probably poke with the drop kick, probably. Just like poke with it, and then like then you'd play the whiplash, doesn't count towards progressive, and then you play assault. Well, yeah, you'd probably play assault then, and then you could sugar rush this one, because like this is like 4 speed. You kind of want them to like block that. This one, if you sugar rush here, they're not going to be able to block this because you get 2 speed, 4 damage, and then the enhancer you're going to get 2 speed. Oh, by the way, every time you combo, you're going to get free damage with your late risers, and of course you're going to pitch with prone to dries as well. So a lot of times these attacks, they're all like 5 damage, right? Like this is 5, this is 5, this is 4, but you discard momentum to get +4. Blinding Cloth Capture is a 5 damage. Piercing Descent's a 5 damage. So everything's 5 damage. So you can see like once you start reaching like out here with your 3rd, 4, 5, it's really easy for them to die, because not only every time you combo, you're getting like damage here, you're also pitching for prone to dry eyes. This gives damage. So yeah, as you can see, it's just like once you play your like 4th or 5th attack, they're probably dead, especially if you include any turn 2 damage that you soften them up with. So yeah, kind of backtracking here. You can like celebrity status here, stack the momentum, pitch 1, draw 2. So you draw this, and I have like 3 attacks. So like, yeah, it's one of those decks where it's like you just kind of play it as it comes to you. It is like a working man's deck. It's really tough. Like I remember during the tournament, man, people were winning like the Deku, for example, was winning his matches so fast. Tokiyami was winning matches so fast, and like I had to work for all my wins with this deck. Like it was very tough. Pretty much all my games went to game 3. In top 4, I was Swiss champ, right? So I elected to go first both times, top 4 and grand finals, and both game 1s I got like annihilated. Like so I had to do a reverse 2-0 in top 4 and grand finals. It was like one of the hardest tournaments I've ever played, and even though it was only like 5 or 6 rounds or whatever. But yeah, the deck's like super cool. Like I said, it's one of those decks where you kind of have to work for your wins. You can't just cheeseball somebody with this Eraserhead deck, but it's one of those decks where if you play it perfectly and you know what attacks to like shut down, then your rival's gonna have a hard time winning. And if they have a hard time winning, you're probably gonna have a good time winning. So yeah, that's Eraserhead deck.
All right, guys, that's the Eraserhead deck that I played. A couple notes. I didn't have a sideboard. I forgot to build one, so I went through the whole tournament without a sideboard. That was kind of cool. People were stepping against me, and I couldn't do anything about it. I was just like, I don't have a sideboard, dude. What else is there? Oh, Face Shield. That's something. I played against 3 decks with Face Shield, and that was super annoying, but like Eraserhead can fight through it. Like they have to Face Shield the first attack, because if they Face Shield the Whiplash, it still doesn't count towards progressive, and the 3rd attack it's just too fast, and Face Shield's like it's hard to block with at that point. So Face Shield wasn't that much of a problem. There was a Mineta at the tournament, and I'm very glad I didn't fight the Mineta, because like that would have been such an uphill battle. I know for matchups, I know this Eraserhead has a hard time against Kamui Woods, and there wasn't a Kamui Woods at the event, so that was kind of cool. After grand finals, I gave my opponent the 1st place prize. I took the 2nd place prize, and I distributed the promos to whoever was still there at the event, so I didn't take any prizes at all. But yeah, overall, Eraserhead, solid character. If you put in the time with them, he will reward you very well. So I want to thank you guys for watching the video, and I'll catch you guys next time. Bye.